We were in an Uber to a party when she admitted, "I cheated on you last night. I just needed to clear my conscience." I replied, "Driver, stop the car." Then I got out, canceled the ride on my app, and watched the driver kick her out on the side of the freeway. Her text 10 minutes later asking how she was supposed to get home. I, 44M, am an operations manager for a mid-sized freight logistics company. My job, in essence, is to solve problems before they become disasters. I deal with broken trucks, late shipments, compliance audits, and angry union reps. I don't have time for drama. I value efficiency, reliability, and silence. My life is a series of spreadsheets and schedules, and I like it that way. I've been dating Tara, 34F, for 2 years. We live together in my house. I bought it after my divorce 5 years ago. Tara was fun. High energy, spontaneous, the kind of woman who drags you to concerts and wine tastings. I thought she was good for me. I thought she balanced out my rigidity. In hindsight, she was just chaotic, and I was mistaking chaos for passion. I ignored the red flags, the overspending, the need for constant validation, the way she flirted with waiters for fun. I wrote it off as her being spirited. I was an idiot. Last Saturday was the annual black and white gala for her company. Tara works in PR. Image is everything to her. She had spent 3 weeks looking for the perfect dress, a sequined floor-length number that cost more than my first car. She looked stunning. I put on my tux, which I hate, but I wear it because it made her happy. I even polished my shoes. I was fully committed to being the supportive partner. We called an Uber Black. We were running late, naturally, because Tara had a meltdown about her hair. We were in the back of a luxury SUV, cruising down the freeway, about 20 minutes from the venue. The driver, a stoic guy named Sergey, was blasting classical music. It was peaceful. The AC was cold. I was checking emails on my phone, putting out a fire regarding a shipment in Toledo. Then Tara sighed. It was a heavy, theatrical sigh, the kind that demands a "what's wrong?" I didn't ask. I kept scrolling. She sighed again, louder. She put her hand on my thigh, her nails digging in slightly. "Babe," she whispered. "I have to tell you something. I can't go to this party feeling guilty. I need to clear the air so we can have a good night." I looked up, pocketing my phone. "Okay, what is it? Did you forget the tickets?" "No," she said, her voice dropping to that fake sad register she uses when she overdraws the joint account. "I messed up last night. I went out with the girls and, well, we ran into an old friend of mine, Mark. And one thing led to another. I slept with him. It meant nothing. It was just a stupid, drunken mistake. But I needed to tell you because I respect you too much to lie." She squeezed my leg. She actually smiled, a weak, hopeful smile, waiting for me to say, "It's okay, honey, we'll work through it." She wanted absolution. She wanted to dump her guilt on me like a bag of trash so she could dance and drink champagne with a light heart while I stood in the corner stewing in misery. She wanted me to be her emotional designated driver. She wanted to ruin my night so she could save hers. I didn't feel sad. I didn't feel angry. I felt done. It was like a switch flipped in a breaker box. Click. Power off. Asset liability confirmed. Terminate contract. I looked at the driver in the rearview mirror. "Sergey," I said clearly, "pull over." "Here," Sergey asked, eyeing the busy freeway. "Yes, pull over to the breakdown lane. Now, it's an emergency." Tara looked confused. "Babe, what are you doing? We're going to be late." Sergey pulled the massive SUV onto the wide shoulder of the interstate, just past the exit 14 sign. Cars whizzed by at 80 miles per hour. The hazard lights clicked rhythmically. I opened my door. "Get out," Tara said, laughing nervously. "What are you doing? You can't smoke here." I stepped out of the car. The wind from the passing semi-trucks whipped my tuxedo jacket. I leaned back into the open door. "I'm not smoking," I said. "I'm leaving." "Leaving? What about the gala? My boss is expecting us." "I'm not going to the gala, Tara. I'm going home. And since this is my Uber account, and I'm the one paying, this ride is over." I pulled out my phone. I opened the Uber app. I hit cancel ride. The driver's phone pinged immediately. "Ride canceled." Sergey looked back. "Sir, you canceled?" "I did," I said. "I'll call another one for myself from the service road up ahead, or I'll walk. Doesn't matter." "But what about the lady?" Sergey asked, looking at Tara in the back seat. I looked at Tara. She was staring at me, mouth open, realizing this wasn't a drill. "The lady," I said, "admitted to violating the terms of our relationship. She is no longer my guest. If she wants a ride, she needs to book one." Good luck, Sergey. I slammed the door. I started walking down the wide breakdown lane toward the exit ramp about a quarter-mile ahead. My dress shoes crunched on the gravel. Behind me, I heard the door open. Tara scrambled out in her heels. Mike, are you crazy? You can't leave me here. It's a freeway. You're an adult, I called back without stopping. Download the app. I don't have my phone, she shrieked. It's in your jacket pocket. I stopped. I patted my pocket. Sure enough, her sleek iPhone was tucked in there because her clutch was too small. I took it out. I looked at it. I turned around. She looked hopeful, running toward me. I walked over the concrete barrier. I set the phone gently on the flat top of the guardrail. There you go, I said. Don't drop it. Then I turned and kept walking. I heard her screaming. I heard Sergey yelling at her to get back in or get away from his car because he wasn't running a charity service. Since the ride was canceled and I, the payer, had vacated, he had no obligation to drive her anywhere. In fact, for liability reasons, he probably wanted her gone. I walked the quarter-mile to the exit. I found a gas station. I called a regular Lyft. I went to a steakhouse, sat at the bar, ordered a ribeye and a double scotch, and turned off my phone. Update 1. The long walk home. I didn't go home that night. I checked into a hotel near the airport. I wasn't afraid of her. I just didn't want to hear the noise. I wanted a solid 8 hours of sleep before I initiated the eviction protocol. I needed a clear head to execute the next phase. I turned my phone on the next morning at 7 a.m. 47 missed calls, 82 text messages. Tara's mom, Tara's best friend Jen, probably the one she was with when she cheated, and a random number. I scrolled through the texts. How are you supposed to get home? This isn't funny, Mike. Come back. The driver left me. I'm walking in heels. My phone died. I'm at a gas station. You are a psycho. 3M home. You locked the deadbolt? Seriously? Ah, yes. The smart locks. I had disabled her code from the app while I was eating my steak. I went to the house at 9 a.m. I expected her to be there screaming, but the driveway was empty. Her car was gone. Interesting. I went inside. The house was quiet. I checked the guest room. Empty. I checked the master bedroom. Her closet was thinner. She had come home, couldn't get in, likely tried her key, which works on the knob but not the deadbolt, realized she was locked out, and panicked. I checked the back door. The window pane near the handle was smashed. Glass was everywhere. She didn't call a locksmith. She broke in. Destruction of property. Perfect. I walked to the kitchen. There was a note on the counter, scribbled on a napkin in eyeliner. You abandoned me on a highway. That is abuse. I am staying at Jen's. Do not contact me until you are ready to apologize and pay for my dress, which is ruined. I laughed. A dry, humorless laugh. She cheated on me, confessed to clear her conscience, broke into my house, and now demanded an apology because I refused to sit in a car with her for another 20 minutes. I called a glazier to fix the window, $350. Then I called my brother, who is a contractor, to come over and help me install heavy-duty security strikes on the doors. Then I sat down at my computer and did the math. Tara moved in 6 months ago. She pays nothing. She buys groceries sometimes. She pays for the streaming services. Legally, she is a tenant at will. In my state, that means I have to give her 30 days notice, unless there is a threat to property or safety. Breaking a window to enter? That's destruction of property. I called my lawyer friend, Steve. Steve, she broke a window to get in. Can I kick her out today? Technically, yes, you could file for an emergency order, Steve said. But it's Sunday. Courts are closed. If you change the locks now, she can call the cops and claim illegal eviction. Give her the 30 days. But Mike, you don't have to make it comfortable. Steve is a genius. Malicious compliance it is. I drafted a formal notice to quit giving her 30 days. I also drafted an invoice. Window repair, $350. Uber cancellation fee, $10. Cleaning fee, she spilled wine on the rug last week, $150. Total due $510. I emailed it to her work email. Update 2, the narrative spin and the police. Monday morning, I was at work handling a crisis with a shipment of frozen seafood in Miami. My mind was on refrigeration units, not Tara. Then my office phone rang. It was the front desk. Mike, there's a, police officer here and a woman? I sighed. Send them back. Tara walked in, looking like a martyr. She was wearing sunglasses indoors, Behind her was a young, bored-looking cop. "That's him." Tara pointed a manicured finger at me. "He endangered my life." The cop stepped forward. "Sir, this lady claims you abandoned her on the side of I-95 Saturday night." I leaned back in my chair. "I canceled a ride service I was paying for, officer. She is an adult woman with a phone and a wallet. I didn't push her out of a moving vehicle. I exited the vehicle safely and terminated the service." "He stole my phone," she shrieked. "I placed her phone on the guardrail next to her," I corrected. "Because it was in my pocket, I returned her property immediately. I didn't want to be accused of theft later." The cop looked at Tara. "Ma'am, you said he threw it into traffic." Tara stammered. He basically did. He put it on the wall and walked away." "Sir," the cop said to me, "it's a civil matter mostly, but leaving someone on a freeway is frowned upon." "It was a breakdown lane," I said. "Perfectly safe for a vehicle to stop. The driver stopped safely. I exited safely. If the driver chose to eject her afterwards, that is between her and Uber. I am not responsible for transporting my ex-girlfriend after she confesses to adultery." The cop's eyebrows went up. "Adultery? She cheated on me," I said flatly. "She confessed in the car. I ended the date and the relationship and the ride." The cop let out a short snort. He tried to cover it with a cough. "Right. Well, ma'am, unless you have proof he physically assaulted you, this isn't a police matter. You made it home safely?" "I had to walk a mile in Louboutins," she yelled. "My feet are blistered." "Tragic," I said. "Officer, if we're done here, I have a reefer truck thawing out in Florida." The cop ushered her out. He filed a report, but he marked it civil dispute, no crime committed. That report was gold. It meant her abuse claim was officially investigated and dismissed. 2 hours later, I got a call from HR. Tara had posted a video. Of course she did. She didn't record the freeway incident. Phone died, remember? She recorded a storytime video. Title: "My abusive ex left me to die on the highway because I was honest with him." She left out the cheating part, obviously. She said she confessed to a past mistake, and I snapped. She was crying, showing her blistered heels. My HR director, Brenda, is a no-nonsense woman who has fired people for stealing K-cups. "Mike," she said, "we're getting calls. People saying we employ a monster who abandons women." "She cheated on me, Brenda," I said. "I got out of the Uber. I didn't shove her. I just canceled the ride. Would you pay for a ride for a husband who just told you he slept with his secretary?" Brenda paused. "Hell no. Exactly. It's a personal dispute." She's spinning it. "I have the Uber receipt showing the safe drop-off location and the cancellation time. I also have the police report from this morning where the cop basically told her to get lost." "Send me the documentation," Brenda said. "And maybe tell her to stop tagging our company in her posts or I'll sue her for defamation." Update 3. The Cold War at home. I went home that night. Tara's car was in the driveway. She was inside. She had used the 30-day notice I emailed her as proof of residency to get a locksmith to open the door while I was at work, since I fixed the window. Clever girl. She knew her rights. She was sitting on my couch drinking my wine. "I live here," she said smugly. "You can't kick me out for 30 days, and I'm not paying for the window. You forced me to break in." "Okay," I said. "You have 30 days, but let's be clear about what living here entails." I walked past her. I went to the bedroom. I took the TV off the wall. "What are you doing?" she asked. "This is my TV," I said. "I'm moving it to the guest house. I wouldn't want to disturb your tenancy. But I want to watch The Bachelor." "Watch it on your phone," I said. I proceeded to remove every creature comfort from the common areas. I took the router. Internet is in my name. I took the coffee maker. I took the light bulbs from the living room lamps. I took the toilet paper. I took the shower curtain. I took the cushions off the couch. "You're being childish," she screamed, following me around. "This is illegal. Constructive eviction." "Nope," I said. "Steve told me all about that. Constructive eviction is removing essential services like heat, water, or electricity. Wi-Fi is not essential. Coffee is not essential. Couch cushions are not essential. You have a roof, walls, running water, and heat. You are surviving, but you are not thriving." I locked everything in the garage, which I secured with a heavy-duty padlock she couldn't pick. Then I went to my bedroom, installed a commercial-grade key padlock on the door. I work in logistics. I have access to good hardware, and went to sleep. For the next week, we lived in a Cold War. She tried to love bomb me. She cooked dinner on Tuesday. I walked past the lasagna and made a sandwich in my locked bedroom. She tried to bring her mom over on Wednesday to shame me. Her mom sat in the cushionless living room and told me I was a cruel man. Your daughter cheated on me, Linda, I said, and broke my window. You're sitting on a wooden frame because she lost her privilege to my upholstery. Linda left. She tried to bring Mark over on Friday, the guy she cheated with. I met him at the door. He was a soft-looking guy in a polo shirt. Hey man, he said, trying to be chill. Tara said I could crash here. Tara is a tenant at will with 23 days left, I said. The lease, which doesn't exist but we follow state law, does not permit overnight guests without landlord approval. I am the landlord. Request denied. Get off my porch. You can't do that, Mark said. I can, I said. And since this is private property and you are not a resident, you are trespassing. I have a security camera pointed at your face. Smile. Mark left. He didn't want the drama. Tara screamed that I was controlling. Update 4. The leverage, day 15. The flying monkeys arrived. Tara's friends started blowing up my LinkedIn. Not my personal social media, I don't really use it, but my professional network. They were leaving reviews on my company's page. Mike, last name, hates women. Abuser. This was annoying. It was attacking my livelihood, so I decided to end it. I knew Tara's boss. Tara works in PR, remember? Her boss is a guy named David. I met him at the Christmas party. He's a family man. Very religious. Very strict about company image. Tara had mentioned in her drunken confession that she cheated on me with Mark. She also mentioned in a previous conversation months ago that Mark was a client of her PR firm. Fraternizing with clients is a big no-no in her contract. She told me that herself. I sent David an email. Subject: concern regarding client relations. Body: David, hope you are well. I wanted to bring a potential conflict of interest to your attention regarding Tara. She recently admitted to an intimate relationship with a client, Mark last name, which occurred on the night of the black and white gala. I believe this breach of professional ethics might reflect poorly on the firm if it becomes public knowledge. As her former partner, I wanted to give you a heads up before her current social media crusade draws too much attention to her personal life. Best, Mike. I didn't lie, I didn't exaggerate, I just connected the dots. 2 days later, Tara came home early. She was crying. You got me fired, she screamed, pounding on my locked bedroom door. I opened it. I didn't fire you. Your breach of contract fired you. David let me go for gross misconduct. I lost my severance. I lost my references. Actions, I said, meet consequences. How am I supposed to pay rent on a new place? She sobbed. I have no job. You have 13 days, I reminded her. Better start packing. Update 5. The departure. She didn't make it to 30 days. Without a job, and with the abusive ex narrative falling apart, hard to claim abuse when you're posting party pics with the guy you cheated with, which she foolishly did to try and make me jealous. She ran out of steam. She moved out on day 20. She stole the toaster. I let her have it. It was a cheap toaster. She left the place a mess. Trash everywhere, walls scuffed. I hired a cleaning crew. I deducted the cost from the phantom deposit she never paid, and then I sent her a bill for the remainder. $1,200 for damages and cleaning. I sent it to her parents' house where she was now living. Her dad called me. Mike, son, what is this? It's a bill, Bob. Your daughter trashed my house and broke my window. She says you abandoned her on a highway. She cheated on me, Bob, and I canceled an Uber. If that's abandonment, then I'm guilty of saving myself $40. Bob sighed. She's a handful. I'll send you a check. Just leave us out of it. Bob is a good man. I accepted the check. Final update. 6 months later, I'm currently sitting in the airport lounge waiting for a flight to Tokyo. Business trip, but I extended it for a week of vacation. I've always wanted to see the shrines. Tara tried to text me last week. Hey, I miss us. Mark turned out to be a jerk. He wouldn't even let me stay with him when I got evicted. I'm sorry about everything. Can we get coffee? I didn't block her immediately. I wanted the satisfaction of the reply. I don't drink coffee with people who leave their conscience in an Uber. Good luck. Then I blocked her. I heard from a mutual friend that she's working as a receptionist at a car dealership now. The PR world is small, and David apparently told everyone why he fired her. Client poaching sleeping around is a bad look. My house is quiet, it's clean, the Wi-Fi is fast, the toilet paper is stocked. I dated a woman briefly last month. On the second date, we took an Uber. She was polite to the driver. She didn't sigh theatrically. She paid for her own drinks. We're going out again next week when I get back. People ask if I regret leaving her on the side of the road. Was it harsh? Maybe. Was it dangerous? It was a breakdown lane in daylight, well, twilight, 500 yards from an exit with a gas station. She wasn't in danger. She was inconvenienced. But here's the thing about logistics. When you identify a liability that threatens the integrity of the shipment, you offload it. You don't carry dead weight to the destination just because it's nice. I offloaded the cargo, and my life has been running on schedule ever since. TLDR. Girlfriend confessed to cheating during an Uber ride to a gala to clear her conscience. I stopped the car, canceled the ride, and left her on the side of the freeway.